focus on the violence and the clashes of worldviews. I'll end with a story that seems simple and not something that we would notice in everyday life, but that inspires me to this day, and that I hope shows us that we can be inspired even by the simplest of collaborations. Last year, we had a Spiritual Life Council retreat. We were going to drive to Starved Rock National Park and spend the day there doing interfaith activities and getting to know one another. And we had to leave very early in the morning. We had to leave at about 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday, which for many college students is not ideal. And it was still dark. It was in October. I arrived at Rockefeller Chapel, which is where we were going to meet, and I set out fruit and donuts, which everyone was very appreciative of, I hope. I stood in the doorway of the chapel and I looked down the long pathway that leads up to the entrance of Rockefeller Chapel, and I saw out in the distance 2 students walking. As they got closer, I realized one student was Rachel, a Jewish student, and the other was Rafia, a Muslim student. And they were walking together, and when they finally arrived at the chapel, I said, "How did you end up walking here together?" These 2 students had exchanged phone numbers, and they had agreed that they would make sure that each other was awake so early in the morning, because both of them had habits of sleeping late. I thought to myself, this is a norm, perhaps, in this place, but it's not a norm in so many other places in the world. A Jewish student and a Muslim student might not even talk to each other or regard each other as human beings, let alone agree to call each other so early in the morning to make sure that both were present at this retreat. So it's stories like these that I hold with me every single day, that help me fuel me in the work that I do. And I hope that through interfaith engagement, if we can learn one thing that will transform us, and that will offer this transformative education that I so passionately believe in, it's to be inspired every day by the stories of our peers and our colleagues and our friends and family when they do collaborate across difference, when they believe that our shared core values, like the woman in Malawi and my own mother, are more important and more powerful than our differences. Thank you.